Greetings to you from wherever you're watching us this evening. It feels good to be here to take you on a trip across the money spinning world of sports. It's the abridged version. Of course, it's Wednesday, and you already know. Thanks for joining us once again. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Let's look at some of the things we have to give to you tonight. Let's start with tennis on the show. I'm talking about table tennis on the show tonight. Let's talk about Quadri Aruna and, of course, Jide Omotayo. They're in the news. Of course, they will be involved in the WTT events in tournaments in Qatar. That's the news. Quadri Aruna and Omotayo are among the top African stars listed for the first official events of the World Table Tennis in Qatar from March 3rd to 13th. These two events have a total price of 600,000 naira, and it's going to take place in the Lusail Sports Arena in Doha. All right, so $600,000, I beg your pardon, and of course it will take place in Doha. So a lot of top stars will be involved in the event as well. You have players like Tomokazu Arimoto from Japan, who's currently ranked number 5, is going to be there. Lu Yinju from Chinese Taipei as well is currently number 7. Other elite players who would play there: Matthias Falk of Sweden is currently world number 8. Jang Gujin of Korea Republic, he occupies the 11th position on the world rankings, is going to be there as well. Dmitry Olgerov of Germany will be there as well. And our own Aruna Quadri, by virtue of his ranking, will also be there. However, Omotayo, Taiwo Mati, Nuruddin Hassan have been listed to compete in the qualifiers for the event from February 28th to March the 2nd. This is hoping that we will have more Nigerians in the competition. All right, so that's it for table tennis. All the best to the guys representing Nigeria, and hopefully they'll get a chunk of that prize money. And who knows, they might just go on and surprise all the top stars. Let's talk about the Nigeria Professional Football League. Let's talk about something that happened today. A game was played today, and of course, because of that game, there are changes on the league table. But first, let's take a look at the result. There you have it. Kwara United defeating the Aba Elephants. Talking about Enyimba. It was just a lone goal. Stephen Jude got that goal in the 5th minute. The Aba Elephants tried as much as they could, but they couldn't get an equalizer. And on the strength of that result, Kwara United are in the top 10, 8 points after 5 matches. They're in the 9th position. All right, maybe we'll just take a look at the league table. This is the result, the game played today, the outstanding game. As it stands, everybody has played 5 matches. 5 matches. So let's take a look at the league table just to quickly let you know what I'm talking about. Of course, like I told you, I've been saying for a while, Rivers United on the top of that. Maybe we'll get to show you that table later on. But of course, Enyimba in 5th position and Kwara United in the 8th position. All right, still talking about the Nigeria Professional Football League. There have been talks about some of the clubs, the big clubs in Nigeria, probably moving on to private hands so that a lot could be achieved. One of those clubs that people have looked to is the Flying Antelopes, talking about Rangers. But of course, in a swift reaction, the Commissioner for Youth and Sports in Enugu State, talking about Manfred Nzekwe, has put that to bed and saying that, look, there are no plans to sell Rangers International. There are no plans to privatize the club. He insists Rangers International is good as it is, and assured fans that the government will support the club and assure that Rangers International will, of course, be contenders in any competition they're playing. But first, let's listen to Commissioner for Youth and Sports right there in Enugu State.
Rangers has been doing creditably well, and you see the kind of the squad that they have now. I assure you that they are going to sustain it. The coach of Rangers now, the technical coach, is one of the best. is an experienced coach. If Rangers can be able to recruit such a coach and other notable players that is known and are playing for Rangers, Rangers is out there. In the present league that is going on, they're not doing badly. What the entire Nigerian people are expecting from Rangers, that they are going to do miracle. Not just miracle, because they are fully in form for this league. If Rangers will be privatized, before now, so many people are coming, big teams, even from abroad. But Rangers is a name, is a household name. It's a name that every Igbo man is known for. Not just an Igbo man. Sokoto Emir is one of the fans of the Rangers. Anytime the Rangers are playing, he always calls to give them support. So it's not just trying to privatize. They're not playing for money, even though that money is involved. But it's a household name. They are the only team that has never gone for relegation since 1950s till today. So it's a very serious issue, privatizing Rangers. No, the money will come. The Rangers, its name already is money.
All right, Enugu State showing us the direction they intend to go, and of course, it's not privatizing the club, and so we let that rest for now. Rangers currently, after 5 matches in the 2020-2021 Nigerian Professional Football League, occupy the 4th position after 5 matches. There you have it. They occupy the 4th position. Aba Elephants are in the 5th position on that table. They have after playing 5 matches, they have 9 points. Rangers have 10. And Kwara United in the 9th position on the league table. And you see the teams in red. FC Ifeanyi, Heartland, Adamawa United, and Abia Warriors. But early days yet, still a lot of matches to be played. 38 matches in total. So we have not even played a third of the matches. So a lot could still happen. All right, so that's it for what's happening on the domestic scene, talking about the Nigeria Professional Football League. Let's go on now. Let's go to our neighbors, Cameroon, talk about the African Nations Championship. Nigeria is not there, but African countries currently battling it out for the bragging rights of the team to be named the best in Africa, talking about countries with players plying their trade on the domestic scene. So Group A results, there you have it. Cameroon and Mali played a 1-1 draw. Both teams won their first game. So as it stands, Cameroon and Mali, depending on what happens in the other game, they have 4 points. And if Burkina Faso, as it stands, Burkina Faso leads Stallions. They lead 2-1. If he ends this way, they would also be on 4 points. Then, of course, I won't be able to say who is on top now, but of course, I do know that Cameroon and Mali have 4 points. If Burkina Faso are able to hold on to this lead, of course, they will be on 4 points as well. But it's going to be interesting to see who is on top and who is down. But even as it is, all of the teams in that group can still qualify, even if it stays this way. All right, let's quickly take a sneak peek at what's going to happen tomorrow. Let's go to Group B and look at what's going to happen. Fixtures for tomorrow. African Nations Championship currently going on in Cameroon. Group B, the fixtures. You have Libya and DR Congo. DR Congo leads the group as it stands. DR Congo leads the group. So they'll be taking on Libya. Then, of course, Congo-Brazzaville take on the Republic of Niger. So it's also going to be interesting to see what happens in these ones. At the CHAN level, these sides are very, very experienced. You also have a former winner in the mix. So we'll see what happens in that one. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Even though Nigeria is not there, we keep monitoring what's going on. We need to quickly travel to England and take a look at what is happening. 2 matches, will be played today. One is already concluded. One is currently going on. Let's take a look at the ramifications of the game that has been concluded. Here is the story. Manchester City defeated Aston Villa 2-0. It was a keenly contested encounter. Fulham and Manchester United, as it stands, after about 25 minutes of play, it's one apiece in both sides. So here it is. Manchester City winning this game have climbed to the top of the table. After 18 matches, they have climbed to the top of the table. Goals from Bernardo Silva and Ilkay Gundogan gave Pep Guardiola's side the lead and 3 points and victory in this game. And of course, if Manchester United is not able to win tonight, Manchester City will remain on top. So for Manchester United to regain top spot, of course, they have to beat relegation-threatened Fulham. Tonight, Manchester United must win, or else the joy of getting to the top of the table will be short-lived. And I'm very sure a lot of the Manchester United fans will not want that. And just to quickly add, Manchester City will have a game in hand, why am I mixing up the names tonight? Manchester City will have a game in hand, even if Manchester United wins tonight. So that is worthy of note. But as it stands, Manchester City on top, on goal difference, same points, tied on the same points with Leicester City. So let's see what happens. But at Craven Cottage, right about now, is still 1-1, Fulham and Manchester United. So we'll see what happens. But of course, Manchester United, with the players they put on the field, surely they want to win. Edinson Cavani started, Anthony Martial started as well, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, all of those guys are playing. So they really do not have any excuse. But if anything happens, trust us, we'll go back to it. But the current situation is what we've just told you. Fulham, Manchester United, 1-1 as it stands after about 26-27 minutes of football action. Then in a game that has been concluded, Manchester City, of course, defeated their opponents in that one. Talking about Aston Villa. Aston Villa gave a good fight in that game, but of course there were some questions about the first goal, but there will always be questions in football. People will always have things to say. All right, let's leave that for now, but if anything happens, I'm very sure we'll let you know what has happened. But we're giving you the situation report. Let's talk about Liverpool on the show tonight. Jurgen Klopp has come to the defense of his team. He has said, look, nothing has changed. My team has not dropped form, as a lot of people are saying, even though they've not scored in the last 3 games they've played. He says, look, our form has not dropped. We're still as good as we were last season and the season before. And, that's what he insists. Nothing has happened. Nobody should press the panic button, and prophets of doom should just sheath their sword. Everything is okay with Liverpool, according to the Liverpool manager, Jurgen Klopp. So let's listen to Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp come to the defense of his side. Come back for more on Sports Tonight.
Themselves know that goals are not flying in from right and left in a moment, so you have just to work on it, and there will be a moment when we score again. Stones, City, I don't know, a week ago he scored his first goal for City, I think against United. In the next game he scores twice, so you cannot explain that really. It's happening, and that's the thing. And if the calmer you stay, but staying greedy as well, making good decisions and all these kind of things, the earlier the situation will change. So that's it. Again, close to perfection, but perfection depends on the situation. So there is no perfect season with 100 something 14 points or so. There's just dealing with circumstances, dealing with the situation, and dealing with the amount of games and these kind of things. So you have to be as perfect as possible, and that's what we all try. And I think pretty much all the teams had meanwhile now kind of a dip here and there, and some sorted already, some are on the way to sort it. That's the situation. It's not. I understand 100% the need to talk all the time about it, but we cannot change it just in a minute, and not only because we realize now here and there lacks a little bit this or that, then we change it the next day, and then we should change it with other players, bring in other players, change the lineup and all these kind of things. You can imagine a day has 24 hours, we think about a lot of stuff, and most of the things the public things about we think about as well, but not all of them. And for sure, somebody has to be calm in this kind of situation. That's not a catastrophe or whatever, our situation. It's not perfect, but that's not important, because it's just to really be as good as you can be.
All right. So just to repeat some of his words, it's not perfect, but it's not a problem. It's not a catastrophe. Everything is fine. We'll sort ourselves out soon. Those are the words of Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool manager, and we'll see. Time will tell. All right, let's talk about tennis on the show. Let's talk about the Grand Slam preparation in top gear for the first Grand Slam of the year, but of course the preparations, a lot of negatives in terms of the preparations, and all due to coronavirus, the issues related to coronavirus. A top tennis coach, Daniel Valverde, says players at the Australian Open are frustrated with being unable to train as they usually would, but understand quarantine rules are necessary in Melbourne. Is a situation that we find ourselves in. Players are frustrated, a lot of complaints, but of course, it is what it is. Let's listen to tennis coach Daniel Valverde, of course, talking about the situation. I'll come back and wrap things up on the show.
I know that players are not complaining about the hard quarantine. That's not the issue. The issue for the players is that they've made the trip to Australia to perform as an athlete and to perform at one of the biggest sporting events in the world, and that's their job to be prepared to do that. So I think they're just disappointed that they're not able to prepare to be ready to do their job the right way, to be ready to entertain the public the right way. So I think that's more the disappointment coming from them, and maybe some of the complaints that's where they're coming from. It has nothing to do with their feeling about the hard quarantine or what the Australian public has to go through when they come back home. They totally understand that, they totally respect it, and they totally respect the fact that the hard quarantine is the safest for the Australian public. I think like I said before, where the frustration comes from is that they were expecting to be here as athletes, and you as an athlete, always your main concern is to be ready to perform and to be ready to compete. So obviously by spending 14 days in the room, that gets taken away. So I can understand how that's disappointing, and how there is some negative comments about it.
All right, our party shot on the show tonight. Anthony Joshua's dream fight with Tyson Fury. It appears like it's going to happen. The big problem, Alexander Usyk, people behind the scenes are already dealing with the situation. So we'll see whether the fight becomes a reality. All right, that's how much we can take on the show tonight. It's the abridged version, you know why. So that's the way it is tonight. We're back here again tomorrow to do what we love doing best, taking you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sports. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.